There was once a young man named Thomas. He was the son of a rich merchant who owned land, livestock, and gold. But Thomas was lazy. While his father worked from sunrise to sunset, Thomas spent his days sleeping, eating, and making excuses. "Why should I work?" he'd say. "One day all this will be mine anyway." But life had other plans. One winter, his father fell ill and passed away. Thomas was heartbroken. But when the will was read, he was stunned. His father had left him nothing. Not a coin, not a single piece of land. Everything was donated or given to trusted workers. The only thing Thomas inherited was a small wooden box with a note that read, "Inside this box lies your future. Open it when you're ready to work." Furious, Thomas threw the box aside. He cursed the world, his father, and everyone else. "This is betrayal. I'm his only son." He wandered from place to place, begging for food, sleeping under trees, thinking someone would rescue him. No one did. One night, cold and starving, he sat outside a barn and broke down in tears. "I was supposed to be rich. How did I end up here?" Just then, an old farmer walked by. He looked at Thomas and said, "You have strong hands. I'll give you food if you help me tomorrow." Too weak to argue, Thomas nodded. The next morning, he lifted hay, cleaned stalls, fetched water. Every muscle in his body ached, but that night he had eaten. And for the first time in weeks, he slept with a full belly. Days turned into weeks. The work didn't get easier, but Thomas got stronger. The old farmer said, "You complain less now. That's progress." One evening, Thomas remembered the wooden box. He opened it for the first time. Inside was a single seed and a second note. "Plant this only when you're ready to grow, not when you're waiting to be saved." Thomas didn't understand, but he kept the seed and continued working. He saved up a little money, rented a patch of dry land, and decided to plant the seed. Day after day, he watered it. Weeks passed. Nothing grew. People laughed. "What are you hoping for from a single seed?" But Thomas kept going. Every morning he worked the land. Every night he went to sleep exhausted. One morning, a tiny green sprout appeared. Then more leaves. Then a stem. Soon, it grew into a giant tree. And under its roots, something glimmered. Digging carefully, Thomas found a chest buried deep beneath the soil. Inside it, gold coins, gems, and a scroll. On the scroll his father had written, "True wealth is not given, it's grown. The lazy son would waste what I built, but the hard-working man, he'll build his own kingdom." Thomas fell to his knees. Tears streamed down his face. His father hadn't abandoned him. He had tested him. With the gold, Thomas bought land. But instead of hiring others, he worked alongside them. He remembered what it felt like to be hungry and humble. He built farms, homes, and schools. He helped other lost young men find purpose, just like he had. Soon, the village flourished. People came from all around. They didn't call him Thomas the merchant's son anymore. They called him Thomas the builder, the man who rose from nothing, the man who built a kingdom of his own. Years later, an orphan boy came to him and asked, "Sir, what's the secret to your success?" Thomas smiled and said, "My father once gave me a single seed, but the truth is, he gave me a choice. I could blame the world, or I could plant something and grow." He paused and said, "We all get a seed in life, a chance, a lesson, a moment. Most people wait for perfect weather, but success belongs to those who plant in the storm." He looked at the boy and added, "Comfort never taught me anything. Hunger did. Hardship did. That's how I became who I am today." And so the story of Thomas, the lazy son who inherited nothing, but built something greater than gold, became a legend. Because in the end, you don't need an inheritance to build a kingdom. You just need the courage to plant your seed and the discipline to water it every day.